Hey and hello my dear viewer and friend. Today I want to follow up on one of my latest videos where I talked about some issues that Goddess of Victory NIKKE is facing in the current state of the game. So in case you noticed that I've missed an important point, I might have already talked about it in the other video, so you can go check that out after if you like this one. And also feel free to let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with me. I read all of your comments and I appreciate all of them, even if it's criticism. Oh, and fun fact, a lot of the points that I'm making in this video came from the latest video's comment section where you guys actually let me know about the issues that you are facing in the game at the moment. I couldn't do this video without you guys, so I'm insanely thankful for all the feedback that you guys have been giving me lately. Right, and quick disclaimer. Contrary to popular belief, I actually do not hate the game. I know, shocker, right? I actually even love the game, and only want the best for it. That's even why I'm making this video. I want to see it succeed. I am not shying away from saying that I've been one of the earlier supporters of the game. So if you clicked on this video just to dislike because wah criticism, my favorite game could never make a mistake, then yeah, feel free to do so. But let the adults discuss about the game who actually care about the game. In the end, no one is stopping you from putting on that clown outfit and defending a multi-million-dollar company from a YouTuber with barely 300 subs. Okay, now that all the chronically online people are gone, let's talk about the game, so enjoy.
Alright, what's next?
Ah yes, finally. You've beaten Traptor far enough that you can finally open that pilgrim mode that you've always wanted. That everyone is basically talking about all the time. Basically, it being the most anticipated thing in the entire game. Especially because it's one of the most reliable sources to get a pilgrim NIKKE. I mean, think about it for a second. The chance to get one of the most powerful and sexy NIKKE in the entire game by basically just pressing a button. But then, tragedy happens. Yep, that's the sad reality most of us are facing at the moment. Either be new players that are opening their first pilgrim mold at the moment, or veteran players that are already on their 10th. It takes a shit ton of time to even get the mold, even if you can beat it weekly. Just for it to be a 50-50. Yeah, that's it, a 50-50. Even though you can basically only get a limited amount of them before you basically get overpowered by the enemy, and it taking even longer to complete. And yeah, that doesn't just apply to the manufacturer molds. It also applies to the SSR molds and the SR molds. The SSR mold has a 21% chance to get an SSR NIKKE, and the SSR mold has a 61% chance to get an SSR NIKKE. So yeah, 61% chance to get a 10th copy of Biscuit. In my entire time that I've been playing Goddess of Victory NIKKE, I probably opened like 9 pilgrim molds and only got 3 pilgrim NIKKE out of them. 2 of which being Haran, by the way, and 1 of them being Isabel. And no front against Isabel, I actually love her, she's one of the baddest baddies in the game. And honestly, it might just be me coping with my situation at the moment, or confirmation bias or something like that. But a lot of people are talking about how fucking bad the odds are. But then again, that's not the point that I'm trying to make at the moment. My point is, why the fuck does it have to be another gacha? Like, honestly, a lot of people that I've been talking to on the Discord are too scared to open the molds because it's a chance that they might not get the NIKKE that they want, or even getting an SR NIKKE or R NIKKE. Those people, a lot of my friends included, are basically praying that Daddy Shift Up is gonna do something about it and making the odds 100%, which would be fair even. And honestly, I stand with those people. I'm really hoping that they do that too, even after having wasted 9 pilgrim molds or something. It's just bizarre that everything in this game has to be a gacha almost. And this will be a common theme in this video, me talking about shitty gacha mechanics where they don't have to be. Like, okay, you beat like, I don't know, 25 floors on Pilgrim Tower. That should be like an achievement on its own where you actually deserve a pilgrim NIKKE. But no, 50-50, just to get the infamous rupee jump scare after every tower stage, telling you to basically steal your mom's credit card and buy more molds. And honestly, about 1/4 of the comment section in the latest video were talking about molds. And the only reason I didn't include it in the video was because I got so used to being shafted by Shift Up that I just forgot. But honestly, let me know in the comments what you think about the system, if it's fair or if it's not fair. Because I don't think it is, it should be at least consistent.
Lilith is the best! She's strong, nice, cool, and just the best!
Let's talk about the nightmare of every new player. The 160 wall. The 160 wall is probably the single most thing that makes players quit NIKKE. And it's understandable, it's a fucking bullshit mechanic again. Everyone has to go through it, and some get luckier than others. Because yippee, more RNG in my favorite game. while some get stuck there for maybe a few months or maybe even half a year, like one of my friends, while others get through the 160 wall without even trying basically, which includes me. Yeah, I got lucky for once. It basically soft locks you from progressing the game by not making you able to level up anymore. And the way to break the 160 wall is to get 5 max limit break NIKKE, which is hard most of the time. So it's a bit crazy that the game basically forces you to pull the same NIKKE multiple times to even progress the game. And I dare you, the viewer, to tell me in the comments that, oh yeah, I've beaten the game at level 160 already. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. It's actually impossible to beat most of the bosses at the later stages at level 160 just because they have too much HP and that you can't even deal enough damage in that time. So yeah, it's a soft lock. I could make an entire video on how to beat the 160 wall, but I'm too lazy for that, so let me just give you some tips right here. Tip number 1. Always save a guaranteed NIKKE selectors. Even if you want to get a certain NIKKE, just save them until the end, until you can get like the last NIKKE that you need to break the 160 wall. Trust me, you will thank me. And the same also goes for the normal mileage, where you can buy NIKKE from the shop. It will save your life. And lastly, work with the standard recruit banner. I know it seems like a waste, but hear me out. It's better to spend a few gems on the standard banner, getting those NIKKE from the wishlist that you actually need to break the 160 wall, than to actually quit the game because you fucking hate being stuck at 160. So pull those NIKKE that you have a lot of copies for already instead of just going for the meta maybe for now. The meta will change, but the 160 wall won't, trust me.
Being held by you feels nice.
Hey guys, remember that relic system that they added recently, out of nowhere for no damn reason? Yeah, the one that barely has any methods on farming those relic upgrading materials, and it's actually RNG to upgrade. Yeah, I hate it. Like, what kind of shit was Shift Up Smoking to come up with the idea that, maybe we give a level 400 plus player a new mechanic that they have to start from the beginning because we won't give them any upgrading materials? Might be an amazing idea maybe. Now most high level players are stuck here with like, I don't know, 10 dolls that aren't even upgraded because they can't get any material for it. Like, getting the upgrading material is literally just time gated, nothing more. No skill, no nothing, it's time gated. Like, it's so damn frustrating that there's no method to farm it, even though it's one of the most broken mechanics in the game. Oh yeah, right, I mentioned that they are RNG too, right? You can use your material to upgrade it, and it only has a certain chance to even upgrade the relic. Like, that literally just supports my previous point of everything having to be gambling in this game. I mean, at least in Vegas you have a chance to win something after selling your house, but no, here you just get a massive kick in the balls.
No matter what you think of us, we'll always be by your side.
Okay, is no one gonna talk about how many loading screens there are? Like, am I the only one that feels like it's getting more and longer over time? I am actually not sure how it is on mobile, but the game on PC is 10 GB, it runs like shit. And no, it is not because of my computer. The PC client is literally just shit. Like, every other update there's like an issue with the PC client at least. Like I said, I'm not sure how it is on mobile, but the last time I think was like in Lost Sectors, which was so damn annoying, where you couldn't really progress. But honestly, all of that isn't really an excuse for those long loading screens. Like, why do I need such a long loading screen from just switching from, I don't know, the Ark to the main lobby? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why do I have a loading screen for everything? It's... why? Just why, game? Ah yes, can't wait for my favorite part of every daily, the simulated universe. Yeah. It speaks for itself, doesn't it? This is peak gameplay, honestly. Like, a loading screen getting flashbanged every time. Yeah, I love it. Oh yeah, the color couldn't be worse. Like, I'm sitting here at like 3 AM, I forgot to do my dailies, and all of a sudden, boom, flashbang, boom, flashbang. Just add a dark mode or something, I don't know. If you wanna add so many loading screens, just make them all dark, or don't make them a flashbang at least. In my opinion, it's just a shitty port from mobile to PC. I mean, there's probably a reason it took like half a year for the game to even be on PC after the mobile release. And honestly, it's just a small thing that's bugging me out, but I read a few comments about it and holy shit, it's... yeah, now that I actually notice it, it's frustrating.
You wanna be my friend? You're not afraid of running afoul of the law, are you?
Alright, lads and ladies, hear me out. Co-op is shit. It's a snooze fest. And anyone that really disagrees on me with that is just factually wrong. Like, first having to wait for everyone to confirm and accept, and then select their characters just for one person to basically leave, so you have to re-queue again, and then once you finally got a match, it's probably with like people with 3k CP or something like that, where half of them are AFK. It's a pain. It's just a pain, and once you finally got a good lobby, everyone goes AFK anyways. Or some random dude fucks up the QTE or something like that. It's not really enjoyable. It's fun when you do it with friends, but with randoms it's a huge pain. But sadly, most of my friends selected the NA servers after I told them to play on global, which they didn't. So yeah, the only motivation I do it for is for the bit of currency that you get to buy more gems and Coredust every couple of weeks. So yeah, fun.
Do you need some therapy?
So, what is the most valuable resource in NIKKE? Wrong, it's Coredust. Ask any endgame player who's probably sitting on billions of credits but zero Coredust to upgrade their NIKKE. And I promise you, they will give you the same answer. There is a lot of ways to get it, but none of which are good or reliable. To the viewer, do you know what I hate more than losing a 50-50? Right, it's a run. And also opening thousands of challenger boxes without there being a select all button, which is pretty much up there. In terms of, yeah, I'm never playing this game again. Like, hell yeah, can't wait to waste minutes of my life opening crates for a small amount of Coredust to barely get half a level. But honestly, those suitcases are satisfying as fuck. You can get like 10 levels at once if you just save them up, and I recommend doing that because it's, like I said, insanely fun to just open them all at once. But still, they wouldn't be on this list if they weren't a pain in the ass to farm.
If you need me for anything, just give me a shout.
This one is more of a question that I've been wondering lately. Like, where is NIKKE headed in terms of character design? Like, if you're looking at recent stuff like Quincy's ult, the Rosanna Summer ult, or the Crown Naked King skin, I'm not sure how they're gonna improve on the appeal. Because think about it, the characters are already edging on Unity, and the game is only PG-16, so what now? Like, where does it go from here? Like, no one wants this game to just become another one of those copy-paste 18+ Kuma games, I think. But they also can't really keep up the trend of making characters more and more, like, I don't know, sexualized. Like, look at YouTube for example. A lot of the videos that got uploaded with the Rosanna ult got age restricted, or demonetized even. Which is wild. I know they make ads for Goddess of Victory NIKKE on YouTube. But then again, those ads are also highly censored, which doesn't really make sense. The game is basically edging on not being 16+ anymore. And this whole censoring thing, I think, started with summer 2023 with NIKKE Summer ult, which has been one of the greatest units of all time. But still, how will the game continue if a lot of videos are already getting demonetized from just showing the characters?
If you want to see it, take a look. But I've got my eyes on you.
Okay, please, Shift Up, stop with the schoolgirl events. This is the third schoolgirl event we had in a row. The Neon Genesis Evangelion event is literally the third schoolgirl event we had right after each other. And I'm not the only one that's pissed about it, a lot of people are. It's mind-boggling how they can do the same fucking lazy trick 3 times in a row, and it's, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. In general, the recent events have been pretty lackluster. And that isn't just me saying, ah yes, the good old times, but I mean, last year we had bangers like the 777 event, Overzone Summer 2023, the Nyanya Paradise, and hell, even the Lucky Bunny event from recently is just amazing. I loved all of these and those are basically my favorite events, but a lot of the recent events just didn't hit as hard. And if it's a schoolgirl event, many people are gonna skip it, or in general, boring events, no one likes those. Most of the events that we're getting at the moment feels like they're trying to reuse old characters into settings that they don't really fit into, and just squeezing them in as like a cameo almost. Trying their best to just milk even more money out of just random events that don't really do anything for the general NIKKE story, and are just so forgettable. Like, they better make the 2.0 anniversary a banger for all those schoolgirl events to make up for it. I am so sick of how boring they are, and like I said, it's not just me, people are complaining about it. And in general, the characters often just don't even fit into the event, which I will talk about in the next section of the video. It feels like they designed the characters before they even designed the idea of the event, for example. I'm not sure how to explain, but the recent events just feel sloppy as shit. And trust me, I know slop when I see it. I mean, look at my content.
Alright, let's start the Oh, wait. I'm a student now.
Generally said, NIKKE releases about 1 to 3 characters per event. For those of us who try to collect every NIKKE in the game, it's already a pain in the ass to keep up with, even if you're just going for either meta characters or limiteds, or even collab characters. But the thing is, it also fucks around with the story. Think about it, they add 1 to 3 characters per event. Like, how are they even supposed to implement all of these characters and the stories without it just being sloppy and generally not working out? Like, take for example Brit, she hasn't appeared for ages in any event or story. Or other characters like Quarry, Nero, Guillotine, Miranda, and a lot of the older characters, which still by the way have a fanbase shift up. Like, with the trend of it being 1 to 3 characters per event, I don't even want to imagine how it is in like a year or two. Can't wait for my favorite 50 NIKKE to be in the next event, to do some random rewritten sloppy story or something like that. But like I said, some of the events and characters are actually working together perfectly. Like I said, the Lucky Bunny one. That one's actually a good one, where everything actually matches and all that. It's not even that it's just bad events, it's also adding more inconsistencies, like how are they ever gonna finish stories if they got like 50,000 characters in the end? And the answer is shocking, but they won't. They probably will bring every character back and are scared to finish any story or something like that just to, well, milk them even more. Which leads us right into the last point of the video that just annoys me and ruins the game for me. Okay, quick spoiler warning for the later chapters. You know, the last time death really meant something in NIKKE, think of characters like Ruru, Pine, or that one random NPC who died during that one treasure mission, and Rose. And you could debate about Marion, but that doesn't really count in my opinion. But yeah, that's it. Those were the only real confirmed deaths in NIKKE. And what do they all have in common? They're all non-playable characters, or characters that generally don't have a chance of reappearing kinda. Throwaway characters for pity, almost. It's depressing, I know. Like, let that sink in for a second. No, not a single playable character has died in the story, or probably won't even die. At least not a real death. It's like stupid how many excuses there are to like revive characters just because they're playable. Like for example the brain is intact so they can just rebuild her. Which kinda makes sense, but also feels like a huge plot armor. Because what really stopped them from fixing Lily-wise? I mean, there's this theory that she's probably gonna return, but I mean, who knows. But those fake deaths are just lazy and annoying again, in my opinion. A few examples of this would be a lot actually. Chime, Viper, Hammering, Cinderella, Suyin, Neon, and basically the entire Meta squad. And that basically ruined the entire NIKKE main story for me in my opinion. Because it's just awful to know that every character is just gonna survive no matter what the fuck happens to them and they are too scared to kill off a character. Because Daddy Shifter still needs to make more money out of them. And that's a sad reality. Like, I would be sad too if a few characters would die, but I mean, that would at least solve the problem that I mentioned earlier with there just being too many characters and all of them having their own story and all that. But still, like this bait and switch death thing kinda, like this trope, it's just annoying. Oh no, she died, oh no, never mind. It's weird and lazy. Well, they're just killing off one side character after another. It's just like, take Red Hood for example, her story was over and basically perfect, but no, they just had to basically add another event, like she had to get voted, because people liked her and no one liked the event I think. Like I've yet to meet a single person that said, oh yeah, that event, yeah, amazing, beautiful. It just feels like it's randomly squeezed in between the timelines almost, and a lot of characters would have deserved this way more that didn't already canonically die, basically. Like, think about it for a second, maybe one of your favorite characters could have gotten the event by winning the vote. Like, for me it was Modernia back then and I was super happy that she won and the story was also nice, it gave insight into her, basically, personality. But the Red Hood one, we already know what will happen in the later chapters and all that, and it just feels like, I don't know, they made the skin before they even made the story. And that isn't shift up salt in my opinion, they couldn't almost have done better. Red Hood's story was over and they had to squeeze something into that skin without changing the narrative of the main story. So to sum up, ending a NIKKE story isn't really bad if they do it right. For example the Red Hood one, which was amazing in my opinion. But no, they just had to mess up and squeeze something in between to try to add more lore to the character, which they totally failed at. Which is just sad, because other characters would have deserved it more that didn't already die. And with that, I want to thank you for watching. If you have any disagreements with me, please let me know in the comments, because I actually want to hear your guys' opinion on that. And if you agree with me, maybe even like and subscribe if you, I don't know, somehow like my content. And like I said, I couldn't have made this video without you guys. Every one of these points comes from either the comment section or private messages that I got. And feel free to suggest even more points that I might have missed for maybe even a third part. So yeah, bye!